And we are live with episode 126 of the Start Build Grow Show. Randy Brothers, my friend, what's going on? What's cooking today?
What is up, Nikki P? Man, 125, we're still rocking and rolling, still surviving, still thriving, with all the cards stacked against us in life, man. So I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be alive, grateful to be working, and ready to bring the heat, man. Let's share some knowledge. We're circling back to a one of our first guests, and
what episode number was that?
I don't even
that was real early.
Probably like the first 10, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even know what we were doing at that point, and we still don't, but we're figuring it out. I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, the founder, CEO of JobNimbus. As you guys know, we may or may not have mentioned them once or 1,000 times on the show, but we were somehow able to trick you or your people into putting this on your schedule and getting you to join us. And we are very grateful to have you, my friend Ben. It's been a pleasure to know you. Every time I talk to you, I get inspired and I learn something. You're a sharp guy and motivation for all of us. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Ben Hodson.
Love it. Thank you. Super glad to be here. Excited to talk today.
I see that sweet background, that sweet new office you guys got. I heard some rumors that you guys are like at the cream of the crop, overlooking the town, just crushing, running things in Salt Lake.
Like, check this out.
Wow.
Killer view here,
Beautiful, man.
Right in the heart of what they call Silicon Slopes, which is what Utah's little fancy way of saying we're the new tech hub around here. So I think Colorado's a lot like that too, in Denver. But I'll tell you, this is the secret to getting an office space. Wait until there's a global pandemic and then negotiate. Yeah, it's like, oh man, how can we get you to come in? Please, please, please. We're getting all this like sweet, the best rates ever, all these free months, because everybody else is hightailing it out of office space. Here we are growing like crazy and need more. And in a county where we can social distance and everything. So it worked out really well. Like we're looking around at these digs and going, holy cow, we got into this. This is killer. But pandemic helped a lot there.
Yeah. But at least there's a silver lining somewhere, man. So congratulations. Yes, exactly. I'm happy for you guys. That's awesome.
So you guys have experienced unbelievable growth and success in this space, right? We were talking earlier, you said you were up to 91 total people now, which is ridiculous, completely unbelievable. But let's go back to the beginnings. So what sparked in your brain, or what was going on in life that you decided to start out with JobNimbus or start JobNimbus?
Yeah, so I was actually running a separate software company. I'm a software guy. I've never known about roofing, and sort of my whole life you go, oh yeah, there's a roof, whatever. It's not something you think about, right? It's actually funny, once you get into roofing, you realize there's a whole other world you never thought about. And there's a whole other ecosystem going on, right? So we met up with a guy named Dave Hickey. Some of your people may have met him before. He's pretty known figure in the industry over the years. And Dave was actually working with a bunch of roofers doing some negotiation with insurance companies, right? And that was my first experience. He's sort of telling me how the industry works. I'm going, oh, this is really interesting. And then he says, oh, hey, meet some of these roofers. I talked to the roofers and they go, hey, Ben, did you know this software in this industry completely sucks? This is like 2012 or something. And so I said, well, let me see. And they're showing me stuff and it looks like Windows 95 with little gray boxes, and there's nothing mobile capable. You had to install servers for most of the stuff in your office, right? And the poor roofer is like, hey, I don't want to deal with technology. And you can see mobile's coming, right? But it hasn't quite hit yet. Nobody even knows what cloud means in roofing. That's not even really a thing most places, but it's certainly not in roofing. And so we said, gosh, you know what? We could do this better. So my partners and I went and coded up a first version over, I don't know, 6 months or so, handed it to a bunch of roofers and just said, start using this. Tell us when you think it's awesome. And then we'd iterate. We had calls every week, just building new features. So we're super customer driven from day one. And within about 6 months of that, people are going, look, this doesn't have all the features that everybody else has, but what you guys have is so much better and so much easier to use. Like, we're in. And so we launched with a really aggressive pricing point, and we're off to the races. I think our first IRE was like 2013, 2014, something like that. And just started growing from there and really staked a claim in roofing and said, look, we can do this better and we can make people's lives better.
So why do you guys think you guys have had so much success? Do you guys think is you guys being so focused and so niche focused? Is it your ability to listen to your customers and implement? Kind of what do you guys think has helped you guys so much?
Yeah, in terms of strategy, like definitely being super customer focused. Like we talk about customers all day long, what customers are asking for, what customers are having problems with. We're just obsessed with that, right? In fact, one of our core values as a company that we teach everybody on day one when they come in is deliver customer value. No, don't just get stuff done. Get stuff done for customers, and don't get just anything done for customers. Get valuable things done for customers. And so it's like obsession over that, right? So that's really helped. I think any good company would say that they're very customer focused. Secondarily, I think it was really smart of us to come in and start integrating. That was not something that was common in the industry. You sort of like, the poor roofer, you come to him and say, hey, you guys need to figure out how to be your own software integrator and integrate like all these solutions into one. You guys figure it out. That was how it was. And we came in and said, no. There should be a better way. Like, use JobNimbus. We're kind of the hub here. We'll plug in people like Company Cam and Sumo Quote. And now you get two things. One, it's much easier to use things hand in hand. And two, you get choice. And that's really what I think we delivered to a lot of roofers. Like, we're way more customizable. And you get a lot, I love Company Cam. I want to use that still for my photo taking. Great, you can with us, and it integrates directly in, and it's actually a really seamless, cool integration. So that was another thing I think was super key. At the time, that was like wild for people to be integrating. Now it's, I think, become more the norm, and I think we did a lot of that in terms of setting the pace for that.
Let's go back to the beginning, man. Like, how did this, you touched a little bit on opportunity, the market opportunity, but what were some of the the days of getting started? I mean, did you have an office? You work out of your house? Was this like a Jeff Bezos thing where you were like in like a ridiculous garage trying to build this big vision? Walk me through the beginning of this.
There's some wild stories here. Okay. First of all, yeah, we didn't have enough money for even an office. So we were just working from home and then, kludging things together through meetings at each other's houses. My two partners and I live really close together, within 10 minutes of each other. So that was easy. And we got really good at learning to use remote tools like Slack and stuff in the early days. We figured that out pretty quick. Even before they were even publicly traded, I think we were using them. So we started figuring out that we really wanted to do this remote. We wanted to have a remote company for the first few years and figure that out. We believed that was kind of the wave of the future. That turned out to be really lucky, because when COVID hit, we were like, oh, we already know how to run a company remote. We're not so remote anymore. We have the office space here, and we got about half and half staff remote, but we know how to run a company that way really well. And that took years to figure that out. But along the way, like, here's a funny story for you. First version of the JobNimbus that we had customers with, I think we maybe had like 25 logos with us at the time. And they would call in, and you could either press 1 for sales or 2 for support. They went to the exact same person, me, but it looked more legit. And, you get all these questions like, I've never heard of you guys. Are you going to be around? And, you're thinking in the back of your mind, I don't know if we are, but I'm going to tell them, oh, yeah, we're going to be around. So everything is like on the edge all the time, right? And customers would call up. And after a while, I'm answering the phone, and we had one other person. My brother was helping on the support line. And it was funny because customers would call up and say, Ben, every time I call up, you're the same person I talk to. Are you the only support person here? And I did not have to lie because we had one other. So I would say, of course not. Are you crazy? Of course I'm not the only support person. Just happened to be that I'm grabbing the phone today and it's great to talk to you, and kind of slough it off.
How's the kids? How's the family?
Yes.
Divert right away.
Yes. Now, what's your problem? All right, let's get into the issue with the software that you want to solve. So that was kind of fun. It even got to the point where a few times, on the sales line, you'd have to change your voice a little. This has been Hodson. Hello, this has been, trying to make it sound like it was a different person because you're worried that the next person might be the same guy calling back. But those were wild times
now you got people who have people, right? I had to I had to go through 4 layers just to get a hold of you. I'm just kidding. I think your cell phone still works, bro. I'm like one of 12 people that have your cell phone, right?
There's a lot more layers now, that's for sure. Although, one of the things about trying to stay agile as a company as you grow, even if you're a 25-person company, the worst thing you can do is start adding layers and middle management. All that's going to do is slow you down. Frankly, that shouldn't even come into play until you're 150 plus employees. So, a little bit, but try to keep it at 3 layers or less up until that point, and you'll go much faster. You can make decisions, move things much quicker.
I would even say that's a good topic because I think, there's a lot of roofing companies that are growing and trying to figure that out. We had to figure, we're still in this place. You grow your business, you start with a couple people and wearing all the hats and doing everything. You can go directly to this guy and get your problem solved, but you get to a certain point where you have to start creating some lanes and getting people in those lanes. But you can either create a hierarchy or, I think the more modern way to do that is start going at it at a team approach.
Yep.
We have the office team, the production team, the sales team, the management team, the leadership team. Instead of you report to you, who reports to you, and you work for this person and this person works for me, we all work together. We just have different roles and we kind of all come together and bring and hold each other accountable and bring a certain level of value and contribution to the overall well-being of the business. I think that's kind of more of a modern style of building out your business infrastructure, right?
And it works way better. The current thinking is the pod concept or team, if you want to call it that too. So the rule of thumb is you don't want to have more than about 7 direct reports if you're a coaching and mentoring organization, which is what we are. Now, there's some companies like Churn and Burn. Fine. If you're running it that way, you can probably have up to 15 direct reports. But if you're actually coaching and mentoring people to their career goals, by the way, they'll be super loyal and you'll get a lot more out of your people if you do that. You can't handle more than 7 direct reports and really do a good job leveling up those people.
We even found that out on the sales side of things. We had to separate it. We had a big sales team and my partner was managing that one big team. And we had to start, adding some sales leaders in place to kind of really help more of that one-on-one because it was just too much. There's too many people to manage, too much to, if you really want to have a good impact, it became a little bit challenging for him to accomplish that. So.
Yeah, so you get the kind of 7 per pod, and then instead of making hierarchies, you just take your director, your manager, and you just keep attaching pods, and you can fit 7 times 7 underneath of them. And instead of having this long hierarchy down, you have 49 people that are reporting through 7 people that are reporting up to 1. And you keep your organization a lot flatter. You can go, that's why I say 150, 200 employees doing that type of thing and stay really agile that way.
And apply that to roofing. People want to know, how do I scale my roofing? How do I get out of my business? How do I get out of wearing all the hats? That's the same type of concept we do is we had to create these pods or divisions within the company, and there's a leader in each one of those divisions, and then I meet with each one of those leaders. You just kind of create that concept on down and go linear with it, and it works well. You just got to be willing to give up some control and let other people make decisions and let other people lead. That's the hard part.
Speaking of, have you guys read, maybe I have it on my desk here. Oh, I do. Have you guys read this book yet? The No Rules, Your Rules that just came out a couple weeks ago? Okay, this is killer. So if you want to be scared about, what about a culture where everybody is very empowered and people are making big decisions without you having to tell them what to do? That's Netflix, man. They have got it dialed in. I freaking love what they're doing over there. It's super cool. And everybody, why has Netflix just come through and just bulldozed everybody? You read this book and you go, oh, culture wins every time. And they got the best culture. Yep. Now,
I just put the link in the notes, the Amazon link, if you guys want to check it out. So what is it? It's No Rules Rules.
Yes,
Netflix and the culture of reinvention.
Reinvention. And Reed Hastings, the CEO, wrote it with Erin Meyer, who's considered one of the top organizational theory experts in the world. And she said, man, Netflix does all these really weird things. Like, I'll give you an example. Netflix does not have any expense report tracking. Anybody can spend any amount of money they want to in the entire company, top down. And you think, that sounds insane. But the way they set it up is through context. And I really love this because it's actually, we sort of lucked into this ourselves in some way. I'd like to make it even looser where we're at. And I think it works for a lot of roofers. But if you set the context of, guys, here's their context. Don't do any, or only do things that are in the best interest of Netflix. So every time you're about to expense something, ask yourself, is this in the best interest of Netflix? And it is, do it. And if it's not, then don't do it. And now you're empowering your people and you're saying, I trust you. I think you're super smart. That's why you're on this team. And so I'm going to give you a lot of power. But what it does is it causes people to start making other really cool decisions and being really innovative separately because of that trusting power. They don't have to go to the boss to ask for permission to do really big things that make the company grow super fast. And they have all these great examples like, okay, here's a cool example. Netflix made, have you guys seen House of Cards? Did you ever watch that?
Well, a little bit. Yeah, I know. I'm
cool show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it has a little bit of bad name because Kevin Spacey is in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's sort of like the pariah, but at the time, he was considered a great actor and great guy, whatever. So they made the first 4K streaming show out available basically through the streaming networks. And then they went to some New York reviewer is like the guy that you got to get to bless anything for the entertainment industry to adopt it. And they said, we're going to bring in a Samsung TV, a 4K TV. It's one of the first of its kind. And we're going to show you House of Cards and you're going to review on this 4K experience. And so they're spending weeks testing this on this Samsung TV. And there's very few of them. And they had a bunch of other TVs they're testing on. Well, it turns out that they recycle TVs to the local, like, I don't know, shelters or whatever every few months. The cleanup crew the night before this meeting goes in and recycles everything and doesn't know and takes the Samsung TV too. So the boss comes in the next day. It's like 9 a.m. The meeting's at 10. And they don't have the TV to show this reviewer, and this reviewer is going to be there in an hour. And they're freaking out because this is going to make or break their company for the year, right? Well, one of the employees of this boss that was working this project had come in about 8:30 in the morning, had saw the TV wasn't there, hustled, called a bunch of Best Buys, drove cross town, bought a TV for, I think, $3,000, which in most companies would never be approved. And then hustled back and got there at like 9:55. They got the deal done. The guy loved the show, right? So that's the example of the empowering. This employee just took the reins. And boy, like that boss was like, I'm so glad I didn't have to make that decision. I'm so glad I had people that could do that for me. It's actually really cool when you think about it that way.
Super cool. So let's put a little roofing context spin on this. Yep. You know, we really preach, you know, and I coach through my own organization as people I'm working with is leadership through empowerment. That's exactly what you're talking about. You're empowering people to make decisions. And how do you put parameters around that to get them to know that they're making a decision that's in the best interest of the company? And it comes down to those values. What are the company values? What are the things that make the company tick? And that's how we do it. Is as long as your decision fits within our company values, I'm going to support you. Yep. Win, lose, or draw. If it fails, if it's a mistake, but you made the decision in the context of the company values and trying to accomplish the large picture company goals, we're going to support you. And even if it fails, even if it costs money, we'll still support you. And that's been cool. And we need to kind of elaborate even more on that. But that's been something that we try to incorporate within our own business, and we try to kind of incorporate in others as well.
I couldn't agree more. I'd say if you're not sure how to get started, first thing is I would pick less than 6. So like 5 or less values to go with. Like keep it simple. Like nobody wants to see the scout law, courteous, kind, brave, helpful, like first of all, that's all BS. Like pick things that are really unique to your organization, right? Don't just pick honesty or integrity. That should just be table stakes. Look, if you're hiring people that aren't honest, get them the hell out of there and get people who are like legit, right? So table stakes, fine. Find the things that make your company unique. And this may take several sessions, and then come up with that list and define those 5 things, let's say, and then use those as filters. 2 things. Take your current team and filter everybody through it. And you will be shocked that you will have people that don't fit all your values, and then fix that. Either correct it or they need to move on, because you have to be values aligned. It's one team unified in your values. Then number 2, make that your new filter. Figure out a way to filter people inside of your hiring pipeline. Anybody you're hiring must have these values, or they can't come in. They can't even get in the door. But if they do, then we're always going to find a seat. And that's the second step, is like you find the value match first, then you find the seat match. And the seat match is 3 things. Does this person want to do the job I need them to do? Is it something the company, are they good at the thing that I want them to do? And is it something the company needs? And it has to be all 3 of those legs of the stool. If even one of those, like they're good at it, company needs it, but they don't want to do it, not going to work. So if they have values match, now you find a seat that has those 3 yeses on it, and you've got somebody on the right seat on the bus, and now you're off to the races.
And another way to kind of quantify that is you can reference, Patrick Lencioni and his book on what is the why am I drawing a blank?
Wisdom of Teams, I think you're talking about.
Well, he's got the 5 dysfunctions of a team, but the ideal team player. So the ideal team player, and it's based on the concept, kind of that 3 pillar concept of humble, hungry, and smart. Are you looking for humble? Are they humble? Are they, willing to take coaching and willing to, learn and grow and want to grow with the company and grow as an individual? Are they hungry? Do they want to win? Do they want to learn and make things happen? And are they smart? This doesn't mean do they have a PhD. This means, are they people smart? Are they self-aware? Are they aware of how to connect and interact with other people to work as a team and work well together? So those are the three pillars that we based our, culture development process on, in addition to, the core values that we have in place. And Paige had a question on that as far as, some examples of empowering your team. It can be something as simple as, giving we have a business development team. We give them kind of full authority to, within a somewhat of a budget, but they have authority to expense different things and spend money to provide experiences for what would be, centers of influence. They don't have to call us and ask every time they buy lunch or buy something. They know that they have a company credit card and they can do that. And it's in the best interest of growing the company. If this is a relationship that you feel confident in growing, invest in that relationship. Some of our team wants to do certain marketing things or support something online or a Facebook group or something like that. You feel you can make the most of it. You feel that this would be a good opportunity. Let's go ahead and do that. Office staff, office management, being able to make decisions on, do we need, is it a good investment for everyone on the team to have dual screens?
Yep.
I just showed up to the office one day and everybody had dual screens. Cool. I'm like, right on. Are you more efficient? Yep. Will you work more efficiently? Fantastic. Good job. Good decision. You know what I mean? And I didn't even have to be a part of that, but who knows how much money they spent on it? Stuff like that. There's some of those things that when it comes to like just spending, and then, the department heads that have the ability to hire and discipline and do their own reviews. Like, I'm not the one doing all the hiring, and my Bree, or CEO, is not the one doing all the hiring. It's, the service team leader, she can interview people. The sales manager, he can interview people. We have the ability to kind of, let the team leads interview and develop their own team as well, without having to kind of check with other people. So that's a couple examples for you.
I love it. I think a lot of this goes back to how you react to people who make a decision that you don't agree with. Because if you, as a business owner, react in a negative way, you're teaching them, don't ever try anything because if you do and you do it wrong, you're going to be nailed for it, right? So you got to change that mindset. In fact, to the point where you're built, even when they do something you don't like, that you actually build up the choice. Like, I love that you went out and took the reins on this. I love the tenacity around it. I like that you're really proactive. Let's talk about why this might not have been the right choice and how you could have done it better, and then teach them a new way to do it. But don't ever make them feel bad about a failure, because you want them to be free to be able to go make mistakes.
Yeah.
And another way you can do it is, and this is going to be scary for some people, because I know most of us business owners have some ego. You have to get up in front of your team and tell them things you screwed up on, and then tell them what you learned from it. And it's like a weird conversation when you first do this, because you're going, wait, as the leader, I got to be bulletproof. They can't see any weakness. It's actually the exact opposite. When they see you making bets and failing on some and learning from it, they start making bets too. If they think that you're bulletproof, then they just come to you for everything. And I hear this all the time from our customers, when they're coming on new leads or whatever. My people aren't doing what I said. I can't even keep track. Like, they're just making really bad decisions. Like, okay, you have the wrong culture. You're going to be in this forever unless you start empowering people.
Yeah. Owning up to your mistakes is crucial.
It's crazy.
Development, right? We're one, we're the leader. We're expected to have all the answers. We're expected to get it right all the time. And we're too prideful to admit when we're wrong. But those of us who can figure that out and get to a humble place of explaining and learning and sharing your mishaps and your mistakes with your team, you're doing a much better, you're doing a lot more good than bad, right? And from a coaching perspective, within your own organization, you got to look yourself as a coach. You need to not only be looking for ways to grow yourself, but how do I coach my people and develop and grow my people? And then from a coaching perspective, a business coaching perspective, that's something we work through as well, is how to, and I share I think my clients and the people I work with will learn so much more from my mistakes than my successes. I'm not sitting here talking about, we did this, we were successful, this, that, and the other. No, it's this, we did this and it failed. We did this and it failed. Don't do it. Do this, it works. Avoid that mistake, and you can shave off a couple $100,000 of bad issues by something we did. Let us make a mistake for you. So yeah, it's a good concept there. I think you had some questions there, Nick, right?
Yeah, we sure do. So you know what? I'm going to pull these up real quick. So first off, we had some comments. We got Lindsey Brown over here. So Lindsey Brown is with Farha Roofing out in Denver, Wichita, and Kansas City. Hey guys, love JobNimbus. We got Bradley out in Lincoln. BB Roofing here in Lincoln, tuning in, just started using JobNimbus in September as we are rapidly growing, and it's been super helpful.
Love it.
He also has a question too. So he's a follow-up question. Let's see if I can pull this up here quick. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about integrations anyway. So will Xactimate ever be integrated? Ooh, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to get them. They're the biggest fortress in this industry.
That's a tough one, man.
They're doing their own thing, screw everybody else. It's an interesting, they've just been strong for so long, having the whole market that they haven't had to work with anybody. But back to my original comment earlier about interoperability, we've been working them. And the funny thing is, where this new office space that we have here, they're just across the street over here from us. Like, literally, I can see their building out the other window over here. So we're close. I can't announce anything yet, but we've got some killer conversations going on. And all of it's like super green light, looking really good right now.
Heck yeah. Well, this might be a good time to thank our sponsors real quick. And then after the sponsorship, I want to talk about how we can maximize the CRM for your roofing company. So we're going to talk about the new sales dashboard. We're going to talk about the subject line templates coming soon.
Cool.
And we'll talk more about that product goal and roadmap and any kind of customizations that you guys have been seeing working well for other people. So let's give a shout out. First off, we'll give a shout out to our primary sponsors, of course, right? JobNimbus.
JobNimbus is a fully customizable back office solution.
Track leads, jobs, tasks from one easy-to-use software.
And with the largest ecosystem of integrated partners, if we don't do it, we have a friend who does.
Learn how the #1 back office system in roofing
can help you be efficient, be organized, be professional, and be profitable.
Now, remember, guys, if you're going to check out JobNimbus, you got to go to info.jobnimbus.com/roofing-academy to check them out. All right. And then, of course, our friends at Company Cam as well.
Stop driving job site to job site or texting and emailing photos. Know what's happening across your business. Get started for free today.
Yeah, if you guys have not heard yet, Company Cam is now free. So if you guys want to check it out for free, companycam.com/SPG show. And Randy Brothers, my friend, what we got about Sumo Quote?
Talk about integrations. You one of the best integrations of last year was Sumo Quote with JobNimbus. We piloted it with our own business, and it's a game changer. If you're trying to increase your closing ratio and provide tons of value to your customers and completely differentiate your proposal and differentiate how you're approaching sales, it's a game changer. You can fully customize it, and it's integrated with JobNimbus.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So check out Sumo Quote. Go to try.sumoquote.com/start, build, grow. All right, now we got back to the show. So we want to talk about how we can kind of maximize the CRM for roofing companies out there. Let's start out with this new sales dashboard. What's going on with this new sales dashboard that you guys launched?
Yeah, so we're kind of like transitioning. We've been a software company for a long time, but what we realized what we're really doing is we're helping companies grow. And it's great. I love the name of this show even because it really fits well with what we're trying to accomplish. So if you look at our whole suite of tools, it's not just software. We've also got growth solutions around. We have a growth services department. We can do growth coaching. There's tons of cool stuff we can do for you there to really help you use our software to the fullest, right? But if you look at like growth in general, the lifeblood is sales. You got to have sales or nothing else happens, right? That's where all the spark is. Mm-hmm. So we built, I think, some really impressive dashboard tools, let you see sales leaderboards, let you get zoomed in on where you're getting your revenue from and how you can maximize that. It's all super visual. And it's included with any of our packages now because we know it's just core to everybody's business. They need to see this kind of visibility. So that's sales dashboards, and it's out live, and you can use it and try it out even on a free trial right now. Great feedback from customers so far on it.
So we got Justin Dan. He just said, looking to switch to JobNimbus now with one of those emojis like this. What do you think? What do you guys think? Should you make a switch to it?
I guess that cues me up to be the cheerleader here. We made the switch a few years ago, and like with me, I'm a big visionary type of person. Like I'm not just gonna buy something because it's cool and shiny. Like I really appreciate the relationship side, and I see the vision of a company. And with JobNimbus, not only did I really like the customizability aspect because not every roofing company is the same. In fact, they're quite different. So why would you want to, try to build a software that bottlenecks every company into one specific way of doing business when there's so many different ways to do that? So that customizability was a huge catalyst there. And then being a part of it for a number of years now, watching the energy and being able to connect with guys like Ben and the leadership team and the team and understand where their hearts are and where their passion is for helping people and listening to the contractors and seeing the year after year how they continually improve and get better and better and better and adding integration after integration. It's just like correspondingly our company has gotten better and better and better, more and more efficient. And and we can run 1,000 jobs through what we've built on JobNimbus and not even miss a beat. And that's huge. I mean, that's the 4-minute mile that we all want to get to is how do we do that many jobs and not completely have all these bottlenecks all over the place. You got to have the great tool to do that. So if you are thinking, those are a couple of the reasons why not only did we switch, but why we've also stayed and been continually impressed with the growth and the new things that they've added on. So there we go.
What kind of customizations have you seen, Ben, that have been pretty cool that the roofers have been implementing for their companies?
So we built the tool from day one to be customizable. And at the time, to be completely honest, we didn't know that was going to be so important. We were just like, well, we're not sure how this roofer wants to use it. So let's give them this choice and this choice and this choice. Then later we go, holy cow, we have like the most customizable software in the world for roofers, you know? So it turned out to be like this great thing in the long run, even though at the beginning we're just like, we didn't know which way to go. So we just gave all the choices. And what I've seen a lot of times, most roofers have some similar overlap, right? Like here's a process, you can talk about the terms and go through it. Yeah, everybody has this production process step. Everybody does this close step to their sale. But every single company I talk to has, well, but we changed this and we don't do it this way, or because we work this way, we have this. And you can totally dial in that workflow and then have it very visual on your boards. So think of like having a magnet board in your office with all your jobs, you're moving them around, but have that all digital and have it all totally dialed into the way you work. That's the type of customization that I see a lot. Of course, you can customize your email templates and your automations, and the sky's the limit with what you can customize. But that's usually the core where people start.
I think one of the cool things that when I'm dealing with clients and this comes up, and obviously most of our members are already using JobNimbus, is the insurance contractors, right? So you can customize different workflows while the jobs are being produced. So job comes in and then it goes to approval, gets approved, it splits. Two different work orders. One work order goes to the production department. They order materials, blah, 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 get the production done. The other work order goes to the supplement department. Simultaneously, two completely different cycles are being done at the same time on the same software, two different departments, two different sets of people, two different teams. Once they complete their version, boom, the job comes back and it comes back together, goes into another workflow of collections and how do you invoice everything. And it's just, that was one of the customizations that really helped us and huge value add is we all need to figure out supplementing, especially if you're using outsourced, supplementing, you can just it's cheap enough where you just have one extra user, assign that user to your supplementing company. Most of the companies nowadays know how to use JobNimbus anyways, because they've already been doing this. So it just makes it easy to just, here's your user, here's your workflow, get the supplement done. And that alone pays for everything all year long. Yeah,
no, it's great. I love that. That's a really common thing I see. And you can kind of hear that and you go, man, that sounds kind of complicated. It's like taking workflows and pulling them out, pulling them in. Like we're doing all that stuff in the background. Like the key is that we make it easy and simple and it's all visual. You're just at a glance like, oh, that job's on this step in supplementing right now. Oh, this job's on this step, right? And you just see it right there. It's super cool. Instead of a bunch of graphs, or not graphs, like spreadsheet views like you see in a lot of other software. We got rid of that a long time ago and went to this visual way and people love it.
100%. Well, one thing that you mentioned, email templates and stuff like that. It sounds like you guys have subject line templates coming soon. Give us a little bit more details about that, what people can expect.
Yeah, so it's just a way to add even more customization. So now here's a way that you could use it that a lot of people are going to be stoked about, especially if you do insurance work. Now you can automatically have your claim number in the subject line field of your emails, and then all the automated emails that go out through our automation system go to your insurance company or adjuster or whatever, and it automatically will key into their system. Whereas before you'd have to type that in manually or they weren't able to catalog it, just do it automatically. It's going to be super cool. Insurance companies are going to love working with you over that. That's just one of many ways that you could set up your subject line with this template that we've got.
Super cool. I love it. So, one of the last things I wanted to kind of touch on too was, the product roadmap, product goal and roadmap. Is there any kind of teasers you can give us? I know some stuff's got to be a little more DL, but is there anything you could kind of throw out there for the listeners?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple things. We've got more payments solutions coming because people are dying to have more payments options and some killer rates. I think industry best rates for you guys. So super excited about that. We've got financing solutions coming, so you can finance roofs through JobNimbus, and it's going to be killer rates too on that. Like we spent a year negotiating these things. They're bulletproof. It's going to be really good, and that's coming sooner than later. We've got a huge refresh on our boards. It's going to take them to a whole nother level. You're going to have customized totals per board so you can see how much money is stuck in every stage in your whole pipeline. You're going to be able to customize the cards on the board. So every job, you'll be able to put whatever you want. If you want to put claim number on your board, card, you can do it. It's super cool. It's going to give you a whole nother level of tools that frankly, nobody's ever seen in this industry, something like this. You'll see the most releases ever probably in JobNimbus' history next year. It's going to be a huge year to the point where we're actually talking about how we have to slow a little bit because we don't want to overwhelm customers with, hey, this new thing and this and this. Hold on, I haven't even learned the old thing. So like we'll do it in a way that everybody will just love it. And then lastly, I'd say we're going to add more integrations next year than we probably ever have. Huge number of new partners coming in, and we're going to level up a bunch of existing integrations. A whole new version will give you new features and new access and new interoperability. It's going to be big. 2021, we're super stoked for.
I love it. 2021 is going to be a big year, right, Rance?
Man, we're all going to grow, you know, myself and all our companies, we're going to be growing like crazy. So by all means, try to keep up with us, JobNimbus. All right.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So, you know, as we start to close this thing out, we always end it with a gold nugget, something that you want to share to the viewers out there that you think is very valuable. And so I give you a little time to kind of think on it, and I make Randy Brothers go first with his 126th gold nugget. Okay. Rance, what we got, my friend?
I mean, how do I not just steal from the show and make this easy? But I think if there's one big takeaway, as everybody watching this, it doesn't matter where you are in your business. You're the owner, you're a salesperson, you're an employee, you're a manager. Regardless, you are a leader. Okay, and the more focus and the more ownership you can take of yourself as a leader and develop your leadership skills, it's just going to enhance your life. It's going to enhance your opportunities. It's going to enhance your career. It's going to grow your business. So whatever you can do, whatever you can take away to grow and focus on growing as a leader, to lead and take ownership, to lead, teach, and inspire others, that's going to be a game changer and something to hang your hat on and practice to grow yourself for the rest of your career, and take away the leadership through empowerment, which is huge. You know, you want to be a great leader, you got to lead others and help others lead others, and so on and so forth. And the best way to do that is by empowering other people to make decisions and to develop as leaders as well.
Love it, Rance. Thank you. Ben, what we got, my friend?
Let me piggyback off of that for a second. I meet so many different roofers, and they say, if I leave tomorrow, this whole thing falls apart. You know, it's all wrapped around me, right? And there's no value in the business beyond the person running the business. And that sucks. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So my thing is like, be the leader, build a business, not build a going concern. Don't build a fan club. That's not what you're doing here. So how do you do that? You got to start with the values and the culture, like we talked about. That creates a company. Build something that you can walk away from and still is going to run, and maybe even run better long term. I mean, look at, I think, and this is maybe a bad example, but everybody looks so much up to Steve Jobs. It seems like you hear people all the time, oh, Steve Jobs is great. I think in some ways he's kind of a dick, but like there's good things and bad things about him, but he's on this pedestal, right? But he built a company and a culture and a value system that when he died could go on to be the most valuable company in the world and have more success than it ever. In fact, I could make a case that even if Steve Jobs was there, they wouldn't be at where they're at. They went further without him even. That's what we're trying to build, right? We're trying to build that company, and it starts with those culture and values. You've got to start there.
Amen to that. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining us on episode 126 of the Start Build Grow Show, my buddy.
Love it. Super glad to be here. It's fun to talk to you guys again.
Thanks, everyone. God bless. Make sure to subscribe. If you're on the podcast, if you're watching live, subscribe to the show. Click the little link and subscribe on whatever platform you're on, or the Facebook, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Subscribe for more. 125 episodes and plenty more to come.
126, Rance.
126.